Trash your cash, trash your cash. Trash your cash, trash your cash. Is the idea trash or is cash? Let us know. Yes, maybe so, or for sure, it's a no. Should we stop while we ahead and turn around or it's a go? Trash or is cash? Go on ahead, submit your vote. Hey yo, check dig, you're now tuned in to Trash or Cash Podcast, the show where the host will present a new idea and debate whether it's trash or cash. But the final decision is solely up to you, the audience.
Hey guys, it's me again, Jason Centeno, and welcome to the Trash or Cash Podcast. And here today I'm with my guest, Tony Salvaggio, fellow Latino.
Yeah, tú sabes.
Fellow trash talker.
100%.
We're both in the trash biz, and I want to say he's not my mentor yet, but he's definitely a consigliere for some things. He's become one of the first people I've connected with in Tampa, and always loved what he's doing, what he's about, and still trying to figure out a way for us to super work together. But we're already doing a version of that, and here we are again, chopping it up together. So
love it.
This is the Trash or Cash Podcast.
Yep.
I know you're new to this. Somebody else out there might be new to it too, but the idea is simple. It's two entrepreneurs getting together and talking a little bit, getting to know each other a little bit for each other's sake and also for the people out there. And then we get to take ideas which we think may be good, may not be good, but we're not really sure. And we pitch them to each other. And then the other person says, oh, that's a trash idea or that's a cash idea. So as we're in the trash business, it makes sense. It's fun. We're both entrepreneurs. We both like ideas and we're both executors. So it always helps to have more eyes on something, especially if we're committed to doing it. And and you never know what's going to come from this. Before the relationship I'm in now with my founder, my fellow co-founder and Trashmitter, was one of the things that came from this last time. So I just look forward to what can be created from these conversations, and that is the Trash or Cash Podcast. So
love it.
And who knows what can come out of this? Maybe the next unicorn idea. You never know. So
for sure.
Yeah. So Tony, tell the people out there who you are, what you do, and how you stay fit. No, you can leave that one out.
Thank you so much. No, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate just the initiative to be outspoken and to create a platform to share. I think that's very unique, and that's what separates us, and that's what I love about this community, that welcomes everyone with open arms to try new things.
Tampa's good like that. Tampa is very welcoming.
For sure. I'm happy you feel like that, because this became home for me. I don't see myself going anywhere. It's a city that welcomed me 12 years ago. April 10 of 2011 is when I came. And, I just had an idea. I was in the scrap metal industry. I learned that if you can sort trash, you can sell it. God bless you. There you go.
You didn't want to come out.
I blocked it. You're welcome.
Magical.
So yeah, man, if you can sort trash, you can sell it. And that was a notion that changed my life. And I started in the scrap metal industry, and now we're doing computer and electronic waste, also known as e-waste. And we're having fun. Yeah.
A lot of e-waste. So you definitely picked the right lane, and it's definitely one that I still need to wrap my head around, but that's what you're here for. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I just need to figure out how to get my rims on that particular tire.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anything else we're leaving out? I mean, family. What do you stand for?
What do I stand for?
What do you stand for? Like, if you were going to die on a hill with a flag and you're like, Tony, what's your Alamo? Like, you'll die on that hill. What do you stand for?
Equality of opportunity. 100%.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you kind of demonstrate that in your business model. I mean, that's why you're out there, recycling and upcycling these computers for the underserved, underprivileged communities here locally. And are you shipping those out to other places now? Or?
We are. So the business model works like this: we recycle computers from everyone who feels like they can make a world a better place. Right. And that's kind of how we've described it. We want to work with people and companies who know that they can make a difference in the world. And how they can do it with us is recycling their computers and their technology. So we bring it to our warehouse, we sort it out, we inventory certificates of data destruction, industry standard, fun stuff. And we figure out a way to put all of that into this algorithm that we created. And a portion, every load that we process yields what we call an environmental footprint and a social impact footprint. And that's what we report back to our e-revolutionaries, our partners, right? So for someone like Jason that might have an old computer at, you know, in your house, do you have an old computer, tablet, or some electronic that you're not using in your house?
Plenty. I have probably like 8.
Most people do, right? So then how do you bridge that gap that I have to make you understand that if you recycle those computers with us, then I can show you how some of those computers might end up in the hands of a kid or a family in our own community where you live and work who don't have access to technology in the greatest country in the world. So if I can convince you how that's important, then we're doing our job. On a corporate sector, a lot of companies care about that. We are in the wave of organizations becoming more socially responsible and sustainable. And environmental sustainability and governance is a big thing right now, but we're only getting started. That's a conversation that I think is going to shape a lot of the way we do business and we interact as a society in the next few years.
The two things you said, the environmental, what are the two things when the algorithm, when you said the environmental impact and I want to know what is the economic value of each one of those things? In other words, when you demonstrate that, like a carbon credit, like can you use those to offset something else and create value from that makes your company makes it run where that model wouldn't run for anybody else?
Yeah, for sure. So that's exactly what we're trying to, so that's our goal. Our goal is to create a model that through recycling your computers from a sustainability standpoint, we can help you measure what's your carbon footprint and how to offset that footprint. You're being able to do it because of the social impact that we have. You see, a portion of all the efforts go back into refurbishing computers and deploying them to the community.
To incentivize a person to want to do that versus like, okay, so, and we're getting deep because that's actually the problem I'm trying to solve from a different angle. And we talked about that before because, you know, sure, you could go door to door and pick these things up, but then you're wasting a lot of gas, manpower, time. It makes no sense. That's why you go with the corporation and you have this system that trickles out in an efficient manner that doesn't impact the earth, because that's what you care about. And people do care about that. But let's see somebody who doesn't really care about it. Like, so they get these points. What can they do with them? How do you turn that into value? Do they get coupons for goods? Do they get a discount like on something? And because for me, that's the thing I need to crack on what we're going to dig into is like, yes, we want to do good, but I also want to create an ecopreneur, a person that says, I want to do good and I want to make money. Is that still in the process working on? Because I know you had a school you were trying to, you were putting together. Is that done?
I think that we have gone through a journey of understanding our customer, right? And like Jeff Bezos has this thing where he says, the only thing I know, when he was talking about his Amazon clients, is that people want things faster and they want it cheaper. And those are two truths that you will never be able to refute. People will always want things faster and cheaper. So they created their model in a way where they knew that they were going to provide products to people faster and cheaper. Right now, Amazon is not necessarily the cheapest one, but I think it's still one of the fastest ones. So conveniency is key. I know that I'm willing to pay a little bit of a premium on a product, and I know I can order it through my phone and I get it in my house today or tomorrow.
Yeah, because you could go down to Walmart and waste the gas.
Who has time for that, right? Who has time for that?
Yeah.
So I don't care. I'll pay a premium.
Still cheaper. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it is. At the end of the day,
mental math. It's like go waste the gas and the time and mess up my day, or I could just order it on Amazon.
Not a lot of people see it like that, right? You still have the consumer that will drive across town to get a deal at Winn-Dixie and save $2 because that's their thrill is the saving. Their thrill is not the economics behind it. So with us, we said there's no motivation behind Jason to go and recycle those 8 electronics that you have in your house that you don't use anymore, because it's not a problem for you. It's not representing a problem for you. But if I'm able to convince you, if I'm able to convince you, and if I'm able to motivate you, and if I'm able to gamify the experience, then I'm giving you an opportunity to go with your kids to the community collection center, to scan a QR code, to be able to download a certificate, an e-revolutionary certificate, to get you into our community. So the way that we're doing it is that we are trying to gamify the experience so the residents that do care recycle with us. If you don't care, then you're not my client. Throw it in the garbage.
No, but you can get, you said it best. And I totally, I'm on board with you with this. I'm in the same journey. Is start with the kids, because the kids incentivize the parents. If you make it fun for the kids and a game for the kids, that parents get dragged along. And like when we were little, Disney was all the cartoons. But then what happened with Disney? It became this big conglomerate. And now we want to stay in Disney hotels. We want to go to Disney World. We want to have Disney Plus. Like all these things, because we grew up with that and we know that and we trust that. And that's exactly the path I'm on with what I'm doing. And I can show you before we leave. I mean, look, you're looking at the muñequito, right? Like I'm into the characters, right?
For sure.
And the reason is because I know that that's how you get the kids, because this is a long game. They got to grow up with you.
Right. And that's the thing, right? And then back to when I started the thought process of we've went through a journey of identifying who our customer was. What you're talking about, you have to identify exactly who your end customer is and what value proposition you're providing for them. Because if you're creating muñequitos for the kids, right, then the riddle that you have to solve is, how do I get kids and motivate them into recycling, into talking about sustainability, environmental sustainability, and that's it. Yeah. Right. Now, when you're talking about providing a cash avenue for homeless who don't have a bank account, that's an entire different customer segment that has an entire different set of wants and ifs and needs, right? Mm-hmm. So I have a grander vision for our.
Say it now, because that was one of my questions. What's your vision for the future?
So we want to set the standard for sustainability, and we want to provide a mechanism that can help people, specifically companies, measure their sustainability efforts with the outreach that we do. We just happen to do it recycling computers, right? And with the recycling of IT, we found a little niche that can help us start conversations in a creative way, because most people in my industry, they're not necessarily thinking about ESG metrics, carbon footprint offsets, and why JP Morgan is now pushing for more, green investments. So simply connecting the dots differently, because it's important for me. Anybody can go out into the community and donate 20 computers. You can go to Walmart right now, buy 20 computers, and then go to a school and donate them. That's not what we do. We go into the communities and we're trying to figure out a way to motivate the community to solve the community problem.
And to that I say, you said about the problem. For me, the angle is every parent, when I said the kids, every parent wants to be cool to their kids. So at some point, like, be the cool dad. That's why we take them to Disney World, So if you can get the kids if you can help the kids frame something and turn it into something really cool, profitable, and to the parent, like, damn, you're making money doing that? Okay, I'm into that. That tips them over to do the thing they wouldn't normally think or care to do about themselves, because it's like, I got these computers, but if my son is going to make money taking apart these computers and he's going to learn something from it, he's going to be getting some STEM education and he's going to be playing some games, he's going to be earning some points and gamifying it. That interests me. Like, I don't have to be interested. I don't even have to have kids. If my nephew told me that, well, damn, this is cool. It's like a game. Right. Take my computer, go ahead, do something with it. Like we all want to, when we're older, we want to be cool to our kids. We want to be up on things. And if you frame it in such a way, or you create it in such a way that's the style. That's what's in right now. And not just those added benefits, because at the end of the day, some people don't care about those added benefits. They care how they look to other people. Right. You deal with, that's something you tap into, which is almost stronger than this social responsibility. It's like, I don't care about them people, but I want to be cool to my kids, so I'm gonna do this. Right. So that's the angle I'm coming from, just to let you know. Perfect.
And if you succinctly define that And it's, I wanted to create an opportunity to engage with my kids in a way that was teaching them something that was valuable for the future. If that is your anchor, right, then that's the most important part. Then all of your business model has to come from that anchor point. Everything that comes with it is bonus points. But your anchor, the one thing that defines you and motivates you and is your goal is, listen, I want to create something that provides parents an opportunity to connect with their kids. It's not kids to connect with their parents, right? It's parents to connect with their kids. So if that's the case, you have to think about how many Jasons are out there in the world that want to be cool with their kids and want to provide an environment that's safe and a good way to teach. And how do I preach that to them? And you're going to get from that segment, because there's a whole bunch of segment who doesn't care, they're not thinking about that. So you want to figure out from my population that really thinks about that, from my engaged parents, how can I tap into my engaged parents? Because that's my first wave of champions for me, because you can relate to that. Like I can relate to that value proposition. I'm single dad. I have 2 girls, 5 and 7, and I am always looking at fun things to do with them. If you tell me, hey, Tony, let's go to a beach cleanup. Like if I have my kids that day and I can bring my kids, I'm down. Why? The heck am I going to do with them? I have them on a Saturday. On Sunday, I'm trying to find activities, right? If you tell me, hey, you can teach your kids how to make money by recycling their computers, I'm like, I'm not motivated by that. But beach cleanup with my kids and a whole bunch of parents with their kids too, I'm down.
And that's crazy because that's what we did. We did Trash or Treasure.
100%. I remember. Yeah.
And we're going to do it again. So I'm going to, this time.
Just tell me the date. If I have my kids with me that weekend, I'll be there.
I want to thank you because I know we've been trying to dial in this actual thing and you finally said it. It's that connection to parents. So if nothing else, everything was worth it to get that one sentence from you today because it condensed how I was trying to express the value proposition.
Right.
And you nailed it for me. And if I can get it down to even less words than that, even better. But the point is, that was something I've been trying to express, but not doing it. I've been showing it, but I haven't been able to, to nail it down to like a sentence because not everybody has time to see all these things. They get to know you, they see them, and they know like what do you call that? What's your purpose? But that was it. Thank you for that. So I got my cash idea just now, and it wasn't even this thing. No, I'll trash app you.
Yeah, my brother, man. Listen. That's
the new thing. It's not Cash App. It's Trash App.
This is why I said I commend you for doing this because it takes the initiative to putting yourself out there and this sharing of thoughts of people who are somewhat in the same industry. That's kind of what makes a difference. So,
thank you. Yeah, so we're gonna get to the fun part because I know we were short on time. These paddles, you see them, right?
Yes.
So one's trash and one's cash.
Okay.
And this is kind of it's a game, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna pitch you something, and you're gonna pitch me something.
Yeah.
And I know you got something because you said it.
Yeah.
So do you want me to go first, or you want me to let you go first because you're under time, and I can.
My idea is super easy. So
Tony's first.
We are setting up a network of community collection partners. So community collection partners are folks within a community that become gathering spots, and they can help us consolidate computers and electronics. And our goal is to have a very robust network of community collection partners. So within the next year or so, we should have close to 50 community collection spots covering the Central Florida area. And that's for a program that we're testing out.
This actually feeds into the green team idea I had, and I pitched it before, but the kids coming and putting it somewhere and then kind of disassembling it and bringing it in. And for a community partner, is this just people or these are locations?
These are locations.
Right. So And in Tampa, how many locations do you have right now?
Right now, we have about 12 locations, 10, 12 locations that we haven't fully maximized as proper community collection partners. So we're launching a campaign that's called Become an E-Revolutionary. So join the E-Revolution. And basically, an E-Revolutionary is someone who understands that there's a community need. And you see it, you hear about it, and then you understand that you can make a difference, and you get your butt up and you recycle your 8 electronic devices that you have sitting around your house in one of our community collection partners. So you get a certificate, which is an E-Revolutionary certificate. We bring you into the family, into the E-Revolutionary family, and then we keep you in the loop. That's what we're doing right now. We're keeping you in the loop. We're gamifying the experience. That's it.
What? So pretend it's me, because excuse me, I intend to do this now that you say this.
Right.
I live in an HOA. There's a clubhouse. So there's a location. And I say to the HOA, hey, once a month, we're going to do an e-community partner drive.
Yeah.
You're going to bring your electronics. We're going to teach the kids a little something.
Yeah.
And it's going to help the earth, blah, blah, blah. That's what you're looking for, right? It doesn't take a lot of. Does it take a certification? What's the?
It doesn't take a certification. We have to do it in areas that are more centralized, not necessarily HOAs. Because what we're doing is that we're trying to partner with fixed locations, advertise that there are recycling options in those fixed locations, and then if they go, they'll have someone there on site helping them unload, helping them put, their recyclings in their consolidation spots. And it's more along those lines.
Got it. It's just got to be easy to get in and out of, and
right.
like a warehouse, but not a warehouse. But so what's an ideal location?
So right now, our community collection partners, for example, are the Entrepreneur Collaborative Center in Ybor City.
So here could be one.
Potentially, here would be a great opportunity.
It's on. No, Collab is going to be doing this. Say less.
Love it. The idea is this: if you're a resident in Central Florida, you should have a place to properly and safely recycle your electronics within 3 miles of wherever you live.
I'm in. Cash idea. I'm gonna do it.
Let's do it.
I can start green teams from here, and I can actually do some cool stuff. And I wanted to show you it, but I'll show you before you leave real quick.
Yeah.
But to add to this stuff like caching and setting up like little treasure points where kids can kind of do with again muñequitos dancing and stuff, and say, hey, you've won this, and they do a diary. Geocaching using cards like this. So let me what time we got? Oop. All right. I'm gonna give it to you this real quick. Okay.
I hear it.
So this ties into your idea, right?
Nice.
So we talked about it. Getting them into the cool factor. I'm just going to focus on the kids, and the unbanked are the same basically, because kids cannot really set up their own bank account. Right. They have, the parents in the way, and there's, what's the word I'm looking for? There's resistance there because the parents want to do less, not more. Right. So how do you get kids into something where they sort of dictate their own sort of path, and the parents are happy because there's some level of control, but the kids are responsible for their own, I guess, production, right? For
sure.
So this card, I know you can't see this on the podcast, but this is a little crypto card. And what it is a card like a credit card, which is a cold crypto wallet. Now, this happens to be a Doge one, but for the sake of argument, there's a trash token. It's built on Polygon because that's more gamified. And the idea is this. When we did the beach cleanup, or if I wanted to do just a neighborhood cleanup and I wanted to incentivize children to do the cleanup, setting up framework, and for intents and purposes, it could be exactly the activities that happen here if you bring 8 computers to the next community, network community partners, the E-Revolutionary site, for every computer you bring, you get 100 trash tokens. It just goes on your card. Well, what can we use it for?
Right.
Okay, so in the beginning, electronic deliverables. Maybe you become an E-Revolutionary, and using this card as a mechanism, it's like, hey, you do this much, you accumulate this many trash tokens, you can trade it in for we'll pay your cell phone bill for this month. Because every kid wants a cell phone, right? And his parents don't want the extra bill. But the point is the kid wants his cell phone.
Right.
And he might want Wi-Fi, he might want the Disney Channel. So start with like sort of electronic deliverables because it's more carbon footprint
Logistics,
friendly.
yeah.
And then scale it up to like, okay, let's say you partner with Walmart or just maybe Microsoft. Like you know, you're in that world. You probably got people that are in these bigger corporations. What could we give that is high value to a child but will cost us low amount? Could it be a laptop? Could it be an Xbox? Could it be a pair of sneakers? And just kind of work your way up and create this economy where this kid doesn't need a bank account. He just needs to do trash token. He needs to go move some trash cans around. He needs to go pick up litter in this parking lot in this community, accumulate these trash tokens, go and separate the recycling a certain way, go and take apart a computer and make it easy for us to just come and collect versus that we got to go and use manual labor over here to break all this stuff apart. Give them the easy sort of last mile stuff to do and you go do the rest of it. They get incentivized and they get fun, they get points, it's gamified and all that. And they have this physical card that they can use online or through an app ideally, but then also someday, hey, maybe I can get Dunkin' Donuts with this or something like that, which is how it goes out to like say homeless people and all that. But build it first for the kids because they're the ones that are going to adopt this stuff quicker. They're already on top of it. Put a little stem cell education into it along with the recycling and stuff. Create this ecopreneur curriculum, all based off this like little card and a few guys like us getting together and say, okay, you do that part, I do this part. Let's test it out, see if it works. If it works, do it. That's my idea. What do you think?
Love it.
All right. So you heard it here first. I'm going to become an e-revolutionary.
Yes.
This collab here on 4007 North Talaferro Avenue in Tampa, right off of MLK and 275, exit 45B. Okay. This is going to be a center for that. We don't know when, but we're going to talk about it later.
For sure.
And 1 year from now, I will say that what's a good impact to declare? Like, let's say, what's a number that means something to not just the earth, but like maybe,
it would be great if we can say that within a year, this community collection partner helped us deploy at least 100 computers into the community.
Deployed 100 computers into the Tampa community? Mm-hmm. Tampa community. All right. This is, for anybody who heard this, watched this, whatever, this is how shit happens. Two guys get together, figure it out, write it down, declare something, and then you get to hold us accountable.
For sure. I love it.
So yeah, I mean, I don't got much else to say. I mean, for me, this was like the best one yet. And because I felt like I got the chills from it, right? Because I could see something clicking finally.
For sure.
Anything you want to leave these people with?
I mean, you gotta keep connecting with the community, keep doing what you're doing, keep going out there, keep trying to become a bridge for other people. I appreciate that. I think it's a great asset that you bring to the community, and just thank you for having me.
Man, thank you for making the time. I know you're busy. I know you got to run to another thing because, I'm not as important as them. Nah, but you out there spreading the word, and we need more evangelists for this cause. We need more Tampa entrepreneurs tapping in, doing this kind of stuff. That's why I created this, for local Tampa entrepreneurs to have their version of a Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And see what we come up with, and not just to scratch each other and make each other feel good, but to actually do shit in the world.
For sure.
And this to me feels like shit that's going to happen.
I appreciate
Excuse
that.
the language. Sorry if you got kids out there listening to this. Sorry for my kids if you hear this in the future, but whatever. We got to express ourselves however we do. And that's it for the Trash or Cash podcast. You want to take them out with something cool, like a quote, something.
Stay out there paying attention. One of my favorite Steven Spielberg quotes is that your dreams, they don't shout at you, they whisper. So you have to be very attentive. You have to be pursuing and keep that curiosity going. And eventually you'll find, a little part that starts to whisper and it starts to guide you into the path that you think you got to pass. So if you haven't found it, keep finding it, keep searching for it, because it'll eventually come.
Keep listening.
For sure.
Keep listening. Keep your ears up. What is it? What is that thing? You got one mouth and two ears. Right. There's a reason. So just keep listening and listening for that opportunity. And it might have just happened right now. All right, that's it. Thank you, my man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
it. Thank you so much.
May the cash be with you. No trash. Talk to you soon.
Well, that concludes this episode of Trash or Cash. Make sure you follow on all socials at Trashmitter. That's TRASHMITTER. And keep up with all episodes at trashorcashpodcast.com.